Alright, I am here now. And I am here today to try to finish the game that I was playing yesterday, but I ended up having to cut short because of the fact that I was pretty much falling asleep. But now that that is no longer the case, let's see if I can actually, finish getting through this here again. And if I can finish doing so in spite of the fact that you can pretty plainly see that I've already done so at least once, but well, I hope you know what I mean at any rate. And also hope I can point my fan adequately so that it still kind of works, but that it also doesn't give the strange feedback in the mic. Don't know if I'm succeeding all that great, maybe a little better now. Well, something that I'm doing right now certainly is noticing the fact that this here title song is apparently longer than I thought it was. I never really stayed on the title screen long enough to let it play out this long. But I'm pretty sure it just looped, so yes. Time to find out what I was doing before I left to pass out. I was exploring this part of the castle in Castle B, I think is where I am right now, yes. And I had just gotten the super jumps, so pretty much, well, nearly every instance of someplace being barred off for that reason is now pretty much a non-issue. So let's just go ahead and continue forward. Well, there's this one right here, but so we just never run past that little wall. Oh hey, I got to cross again. And I'm pretty sure I want to keep that, so... Alright, hang on a minute. That's gonna have 400 every time. Alright, here's also another really good place for... another really good place for grinding money, if you would be so inclined. So we will be content with 1200 for now, though. Oh, and another one of these. It is actually pretty good, since I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be wanting to explore whatever is the other version of this couple of rooms, because technically I wasn't able to do that before. But what is this key that I just got? Opens a door that gives off a golden hue. Actually, I don't know what door that is, because there's a couple of locked doors, but like one of them kind of looks like it had a skull, and the other one looked like it was blue more than anything. And then there are these doors, the red doors, which pretty much just mark the transition between one area and the next, so not really a lot of sense thinking that that's what it refers to either, since they are never locked. Also, as you can see, we got the devil boss as a normal enemy now, who only does 1 damage. But he does still curse with a touch, so... And he takes a whole bunch of hits to kill, so... Kinda makes you think, doesn't it, how significantly downgrade it truly was. And this is hardly the first or only time in which you see Metroidvanias where the bosses from the early part of the game come back as normal enemies, which... in future cases will be related to you needing to get something from these kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about what I want to talk about. Without flat out addressing what some of the mechanics of one of the games I'm gonna play that involves that is. I guess I could just encapsulate it as saying that there might be something that you might end up wanting to fight them over and over for, so it's a good thing that you get to do so if you don't get that on the first encounter. That's what I could say. Also, wow, it's still really hard for me to speak even now, apparently. Right, let's go down here into the Room of Illusions and see what it looks like in Castle B. This area was really colorful before, and I guess it kind of is now, just not really to the same extent. It's certainly more colorful than the monochrome room that we just went through to even get here, though. That much I can tell you. And we get a steel curtain for our troubles there. And another mimic type enemy, except this one is called Zero. Oh, and alright then. I don't know if there's anything special about that guy. Yes, there might be, since apparently they try to run away when they... Oh no, they don't. Okay. They hold on to you when they see you and they eat your sub-weapon. Alright, I guess that's what they do. Probably not a good idea to let them latch onto you then. Oh boy, more Spriggan. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, with my improved defense now they don't even do as much damage as they used to, which means not really as much of a threat as I thought they were gonna be at this point. Still have no fucking idea what's going on with their design though, let me tell you. It's like a guy, kinda looks like a statue, kinda looks like he's made of metal. Kind of maybe some kind of metal intermingled with flesh thing going on. But he like has no arms, but he's got like a water propulsion jet where his arms should be coming out of. And his form of attack is to crouch down and slide into you. Kind of makes me think, like... Makes me wonder if they were supposed to be like based on any creatures or anything like that. In fact, I could look it up right now. You know, I do have a reference for this sort of thing. And the game, the way I'm playing the game does support background input, so let me see if I can do that at the same time that I play. I can investigate this. Hey, I did it. Well, kind of did it. Okay, so I guess that's the shtick of these Zero enemies, which to be fair, I don't think show up anywhere else in the game, but I guess if you do find them like here, what they do pretty much is they provide you with either a heart or a random sub-weapon, if I had to guess, based on the couple of results I got from killing the few that I did. Also, I didn't see anything about, you know, the fact that I'm doing this so much earlier than I usually do streams, but kind of pretty much because I figured I want to get this the rest of this game out of the way without you know, waiting too long, even though too long in this case would probably mean like an extra day at the most, but any longer than I have to, let's put it that way. And you know, I was supposed to finish it yesterday, and pretty much the only reason I didn't was because of that, you know, falling asleep thing that I had going on, and also kind of going into it with the idea that Even now, it's, because I'm so far into it, it's gonna take me less to get through the rest of it than any one of my streams usually takes to complete, so won't be taking too much away. As I probably wouldn't have been streaming today otherwise. So let's go ahead and get through the rest of this room, which is populated by Lizardman's brethren, which we systematically eradicate and get Turkey for doing so. Turkey and potion, I guess. Oh. I'm into a few hiccups of just being able to, or trying to run around here, but still. Nothing too crazy, I guess. And at least I would hope so, because if not, then it could be a problem. So I'm kind of trying to figure out, our objective right now pretty much is looking for Dracula's relics. That is technically our goal in the game right now. I'm pretty sure I know where one of them is. But the problem is that they're in the, or it's in the, well, where two of them are actually. The one that I don't know where it is the third one that I'm actually not sure which one it would be. Oh god. Oh, there goes across. Sure, don't you love it when Twilight Cloak, when things go according to plan. Pretty sure Twilight Cloak is a thing from Symphony. It's a pitch black cloak. Creates an air of darkness around its user. I think the Twilight Cloak was like the starting equipment, which later became endgame equipment for Alucard in Symphony. I do love Fleeman armors, didn't tell you. I've loved them since Symphony, and I'm not even lying there. Say Symphony, even though I'm pretty sure there were like, I suspect that. I actually can't remember very clearly, but I think they were in Rondo 2, from what I recall. Or I'm trying to recall at least. Oh god. Is there gonna be another boss down here by the way? No, I guess not. Well, there's gonna be this guy, the Pike Master. Guessing I could have ducked under that. This is how you fought the Vampire Bat in the other version of this room, but in this version of this room we got this guy instead. This is supposed to be another very subtle, Vlad the Impaler reference with the guy on the stick. And then it hit me that I probably should have saved there before, because I wasn't even sure if there was going to be a boss here or not. Well, there is one place where I'm pretty sure there is going to be a boss. Oh. Okay, so that actually hurts a lot, so I should probably avoid, go back and just save room again and then avoid this room from then on. That's probably what I should do. And apparently he gives good experience too, because that just happened, alright, so... Also level 44, so I guess technically we're gonna be higher level than we were at the end of, at least I think we are gonna be higher level than we were at the end of not Symphony. Well, probably yes Symphony, but, Circle of the Moon is the game I'm thinking of, because we're like in the low 40s when we went to the end game of that game. At least the Fleeman armor doesn't hurt any more than the really annoying thing that it contains. We get a fire mail. Fire mail's not gonna be better than the battle armor, is it? Nope. Does have a high resistance to fire though, apparently, so guess we might need that for something situational. And a free high potion. Isn't that nice? Okay, I officially have no idea what was hitting me there, since I was pretty far below where the sword's binding was. Well, let's see. Alright, so if I continue going here, I'll actually reach the other part of the castle, which is the wall, I think. Or at least I call it the wall, because I'm pretty sure it's where what do you call it? You know, the part with all the elevators is. And it extends mostly vertically. So it's a bit like the outer wall in Symphony. And I'm gonna have to come here to collect the Viking helm, and pretty sure something else too in the, you know, the original version of this room that we went through before, which was in Castle A. Pretty sure this is where one of the Dracula relics that we have to collect is going to be in Castle A. Apparently the Fleeman dropping fire armor is not an uncommon occurrence, if that's any indication. Alright, so only one place left to go here. Oh, it's another one of these guys. And the hard max up, so... So here's my... Okay, so that's locked, so we can't actually open that floor all the way back here. Can't actually open that door with what we have right now, the key that we got, so... Let me see... If we go down through the dark version of the Wailing Way, the Castle B version... Looks like we're eventually gonna be able to kind of wrap around and go back to the Castle B entrance. Oh, hey, my dog's howling at something. It's actually a bit harder to hear now over this music. And here we are again, the large ghost. Giant ghost, skull lord, whatever. Doesn't look like it's getting any stronger by the looks of things. Also, there's an owl, and all these guys, the Simon Wraiths. Which is what... Oh hey, they actually die in a manner that mimics Simon Belmont's, or just any of his protagonist deaths. I never actually noticed that before, I don't think. Or if I did, then I just didn't notice. Alright, so... Well, speaking of NES, Castlevania stuff, the owls here are also from that. Originally from Castlevania 3, I believe, Mad Forest stage. So where is the thing gonna be? The save room, the closest save room that is. I don't know, but... Well, I think Wailing Way is another one of these places where I'm gonna have to revisit a lot of it. Now that I have the super jump, even the Castle A version that I technically already explored, because I missed a bunch of items that I couldn't reach because I couldn't jump high enough. But now I can. Isn't it great how things work out in the end? Well, I guess if there was any Castlevania that was mostly imitative of its predecessors, while still trying to remain mostly original, this would be it, because this takes away a lot of stuff from Symphony, but also from you know, old arcade Castlevanias like the whip skeletons and the owls there, and some other details. And kind of not just to, you know, some of the older Castlevania enemies. Both in what they are, well, in what they are, what they look, or how they look, and how they act. It's all very mythology gag filled, to use that terminology. Hey, well, you know, there's a place to use this thing right here. Pretty sure there were some stepping stones in, you know, the old version of this place. The other version, that is. See, I don't even know if you would have been able to even reach this place without the super jump, so... I wonder how necessary that really is, but... There we are. Looks like there's something important up there too, so let's take a look. Well, maybe not too important, but something I would like, certainly. It's important enough to have an outline. It's the crush boots. Oh, I know what this does, I think. It's a relic, I think. I am fairly certain it's not a relic. I think I still know what it does, though. The crush boots... We can smash through ceilings with the high jump. Not as good as the silver boots for defense, though, so I'm gonna keep those on for now. But yeah, I think we actually need these to... I don't know if we need them to beat the game, but we need them to find some secrets, if nothing else. I don't think we need them to beat the game, but I'm not sure, like I said. There was gonna be a relic. But hey, there's a couple of places that can only be accessed by, you know, using these, pretty much. One of them being the super secret stash place where the final spellbook is located. Alright, let's take a look here. Why are there so many of these big money bags in this area? I guess it doesn't matter at this point. I guess the game kind of assumes that, you know, if you made it this far, you probably know what you're doing. Still can't open the doors. That kind of look like they have the skull symbol. Maybe we can open the other ones, but I don't know. Pretty much the only door that I would personally describe as having the golden aura. That's the key thing that I got before. Oh god. You know, says that it opens this the door that I already opened, which is the door in the chapel that leads to the throne room. But you don't open that with this key, you open that with Maxim's bracelet. So I see you're going on an adventure, defaults. Let me know how that works out for you. Oh god, I forgot about these things existing. Oh, they can also fall out of the world. Guess I'm not against that. Oh, for fuck's sake. I am against them spawning infinitely. JP bone pillar. Japanese bone pillar, clearly. Gonna be jumping pillar or anything. Hey, you did it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, so I do want to, you know, get to the save room first of all, because I don't like how much damage these things are doing to me. It's absolutely disgusting, you might say. And we can now kill the Simon Wraiths in 4 hits. Rather than 5, isn't it incredible how strong we're getting? Isn't it amazing? Alright, oh god. How badly hurt we're getting. I'm trying to turn around, thank you very much, alright. Looks like I'm gonna chug a potion real quick. And maybe be a little bit more careful in trying to get through the rest of this. I'm gonna try to avoid combat now. Because I do not want to die so close to a save room. I did not die, alright. Now I do believe that maybe, just maybe, we do get another boss here that's, if I recall, there should be a bender. It's also a callback to Castlevania 3. It's a Cyclops again. He's got a giant hammer just like he did in that game, even though I forget if he even used it in Castlevania 3. Oh god. It also hurts quite a bit, as you can see. You can also dash, which I didn't even think was a... I don't think he even did anything in Castlevania 3 other than just move around. I wonder why he even had that hammer. This might just be where the last relic that I'm looking for is that I forgot where it actually is. I get the feeling that you are required to kill this guy. Even if I don't remember it clearly. Also, once again, I refuse to use healing items during the boss. So I sure do hope that I manage to not get hit so much or I'll end up dying. Looks like I did. I might just die. That might just end up happening here. Oh, never mind. Alright. So what is through here? It's just one of these fucking things. Alright, never mind. This isn't where the relic that I'm missing is at all. Kinda makes me wonder though, because pretty much only see one other couple of places where that relic could possibly be. Actually no, wait a minute. Do we even need the relics? Actually no, we might not even need the relics for to get an ending. I think we need them to get the best ending now that I remember how that works. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is fill out the rest of these things. The rest of the little squares of the map that have not yet been filled out in this place. Then I'm going back to the entrance to... Okay, we got turkey from an owl. That's an interesting exchange. So let's see here. I probably should just go back and refresh after these unfortunate bouts of damage I've taken out of nowhere. Alright. Then I go and fill out the rest of this place, then I go back to the entrance, where there's a couple of things that I would like to get. Yes. I don't know why I did that, since I want to go this way. Let me see here. And just keep moving to the right here. see what we're missing, which I don't even know if it's gonna be anything important or not. Oh shit. Oh. It's gonna be something that'll help us get a cheap shot at us like that. That's what it's gonna be. And it's something that is gonna let us get shot without even being able to retaliate, alright. And a fucking hard max up, alright. You know, totally worth it, that. Sure, I'm glad that I got to get assaulted by the Japanese bone pillars to just get that as my price. Also, I sure do like how the, you know, jumping bone pillars are just kind of cannibalized versions of the Scarecrow sprite from Symphony of the Night. Still don't know why these guys they just lose their teeth when you... Well, they crack, but they very, very noticeably lose their teeth when you fight them and you kill them right before they disappear. Like, why that specifically, I wonder? Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Why? So I'm gonna skip the right part of this place so I can just rush for the save point now. Oh, I get another level. At least we're getting something out of that, I guess. Do not like this place though, because my obscenely good armor is not obscenely good enough to make attacks from enemies in its trivial, which... How dare the game not make it virtually non-existent difficulty, honestly. Alright. You're like these guys who I can kill in 3 hits now. By the looks of things. Let me look at something down here, because I'm pretty sure that one of those doors that I couldn't open yet, but that had a different symbol from... or a different design, I guess, from the... yeah, that one. And the skull ones. Can I open them with the key I have? Yeah, the lure key. Okay, so here's another one of these. I guess that's what's behind the keys that have that symbol. So we can actually use this for a very special purpose. We can... Well, let me go ahead and warp up to... let me see where I end up first. Warp around a bit. And depending on whether I end up at the throne room, which I think I am now. Yep, okay. Either there or at the other, you know, warp point that's very close to the entrance. Determines where I'm going first. I'm going here first now, I guess. So, you know, you might have noticed these blocks up here. Well, if we equip the crush boots on our legs, I can actually do this. That's how we get up there, and then we fall, because that's not... you know, that's as far as the boots will actually help us. But then they help us out again, alright. So we're still getting items for the furniture collecting quest. And we get this little area that's kind of like the hidden area above Dracula's throne room in Symphony of the Night. We also get this thing right here, you know, note this thing. Note what happens when we destroy it. The passage somewhere has opened, I don't know where, but well, I'm pretty sure I know where. But we actually need to get up here to be able to beat the game, basically, and get the stuff. Not only to beat the game. Or rather, no, that is the stuff that we need to get to, well, we need to go there to get to the final boss, basically. Not the thing that I thought I did need, which is Dracula's body parts, although I will still collect those. See, there's a couple of endings you can get from what I remember. But hey, what do we have up there? It's the Eye of Vlad. Isn't that incredible? We have 4 out of the 6 body parts now. And yes, there are 6 instead of 5 in this version. The Eye of Vlad has the power to negate curses, so no more nanny for us now. When we get cursed, we're actually gonna, just shrug it off, kind of like we've been doing already, but even more noticeably now, I guess. And now we head back through the portal. Because I actually don't know what's up there in the other castle. So let's go through and try to find out for ourselves. Alright, that thing is still locked. And no, it isn't anymore. Alright, so what's up here in the evil version of this castle? That, whatchamacallit. Secret hidden passageway. There's more invincibility jars and more furniture, I guess. And another hard max up, but I'm really gonna use wine glass. And, okay, there's no... There's no... what do you call it? There's the Kaiser meal, which apparently is better at everything. So we'll be wearing that now. There's not a different version of the, weird claw orb thing, arm. Which I was kind of wondering about, to be quite frank with you. Alright, now we go to this one, and we're in Castle B right now, so let's go back to Castle A. And that's still there. Okay, so what do we get here? We get the platinum tip. Is that gonna be better than the steel tip? Yes, it is. It's a platinum ball added to the ball of the whip, even though... And it looks like a diamond now instead of a ball. And I don't know if in real life platinum is any harder than steel. Or more durable, or what have you. And there is something else we're gonna check out down here though. First, let's massacre these fuckers, which I hate even when I can just shrug off their attacks and kill them in one hit. I still do not like them. I have to come back down here in Castle B some more. Actually, I forgot about that, but... Oh, hey, I forgot about this. The statue in Castle A here is actually complete, but the statue in Castle B is that exact same statue, but broken. It's one more detail to observe, I guess. Right, so let's go back out to the outside of the castle here. Should be able to. And check out this place up here. Guess we can access this now that we have the boots. I forget what even is here, but I guess I'll find out. Oh, it's the magical armor, alright. It's not better than the Kaiser mail, is it? Nope, but it affects the spirit and MP consumption is reduced, which... I guess I could use that more than like hard consumption for instance, but... Still, I think I will stick to the Kaiser mail for now. So there's that little tower to explore, so now we're gonna go back down to the other gate. And we can also fill out that little passage on the map. Oh, we still haven't broken this. It's kind of surprising considering that, you know, there's not an equivalent obstacle in the other version of the castle, so I'm actually kind of surprised that that even existed. There we are. Now we go back to Castle B, of course. I'll just go ahead and put this thing back on. Actually, right, but I didn't actually remember that thing being there. It's more of a reflex at this point, right? So what I do want to do though is go up here, which I'm pretty sure I didn't even do in the other run that I did of this general area. There's just a fucking hard max up here. I sure do love how, you know, they keep giving me those even though I'm never gonna use them. I prefer a health max up or even an MP max up right now. Kind of weird, because, you know, MP is actually useful in this if you do the spell with combos, but much like in Symphony of the Night, there's no MP max up, even though there were some of those in Circle of the Moon. I guess that's pretty much a game that introduced the MP max up. As a compliment to the HP and hard max up, but maybe just because this game was trying to be so much like Symphony, that's like didn't really do all that great in that regard, if you ask me, because, you know, I've mentioned this before, one of the big things for me as far as defining, oh, here's where the last thing is, the Rib of Blood. I suspect that it might be here. But one of the big things that defines, you know, OG Castlevania, Metroidvania, as opposed to imitators, I guess, is the ability to have a variety of weapons, not just one weapon or weapon type. It kind of fails in that regard, this one, and you know, the other one, Circle of the Moon, but at least every other one after this would be a lot better. So what am I doing? I'm checking the relics to see what the Rib of Blood does. It has the power to negate poison. Alright. So we do have an option here, I think. We can pretty much go beat the game now if you want, or we can go hunt the final relic and then go beat the game. I think I'm gonna do the first option to begin with, but well, before we do that, there is one other thing that I want to go hunting for before I go confront the final boss. Well, a couple of things really. I want to fill out a little more of the map, even though that doesn't influence the ending at all, unlike Symphony of the Night where it does do that. Do want to see what happens if we go and beat the game under certain conditions now. Well, apparently, you know, you can already see the, what do you call it? You can already see the castle center there. It's not filled out, but you can already see it mapped out for some reason. I don't remember that happening. I'm pretty sure it just kind of showed up there on its own to a certain point. I'm guessing pretty recently, since, you know, you only go there in the end game, much like in Symphony. So back down here we go. This is the... I think this is the Castle A version of this place, isn't it? No, this is Castle B. But it looks like the version of this place that, okay, I already explored. That is Castle B. That does much help. And now we can go into this big room and find out just what is here. You know, other than the big creature corpse there, we can also get the walk armor, which I think is one of those kind of stick armors there. It restores its user's HP when in motion. Alright, no, it's the healing armor pretty much. You regain HP as you move, but at a very slow rate if I were to guess. So it was gonna be like, you know, a version of that armor that you see in some of the other games, which is like, I don't know, you get more defense based on how many steps you've taken over the course of the game or something like that. You do get some armors like that in some of these games. I forget if there's, I think there's like a sword like that called the Battle Lair, which is like gets more defense or more offense based on how much time is on the game clock in Symphony of the Night. But other than that, I can't really think of anything. Alright, so let's go here. Pretty much the same sort of thing, sort of deal, except these enemies are probably going to be more annoying. Here in Castle A, the castle that actually has color. But at the same time, you're probably going to be yielding more XP, so it's a trade-off. It always is. And all that here's a freaking hard mix up. What do you know? It's the most useful thing in the world again. I sure love how a lot of the time I end up getting stuff like this in games and I just end up complaining about it on and over again. I don't know if we can do that multiple times. Yeah, you can. Okay. So it is like Symphony, except it doesn't actually drain your MP like it does in Symphony. Oh, you got a big hammer guy that shakes fleeing from the ceiling. And he's apparently named Hammer. That's an unfortunate name. Oh god. And it apparently shakes more and more as it continues to do so. Okay, it's dead now. And it was guarding this thing, the skull key, which I'm guessing is the same as the other key, but for the skull-looking doors. Open doors, marked with a skull design, yeah, so I think it's pretty much the only reason you want, or the only reason you would want to go through those doors here. Like, the only purpose they have is to... what do you call it? To like just open up or block shortcuts between one area and the next. There's pretty much only a couple of the doors that I can't even remember where they are, and you know that is in fact the purpose that they serve. So I think pretty much the entirety of the map is filled. No, it's not. I was gonna say almost the entire map is filled out, and well, that is true. I mean, almost the entire map is filled out, but. But as you can see, there's still a few gaps, and you know there is one very not obvious place where we need to go to collect the secrets. I guess I'll be going there first, and I'll be taking a couple of detours from there. Oh, that the hammer doesn't even hurt. That's weird. So this guy's really more of a nuisance than anything. Also, he's got kind of a head that looks kind of like the Red Hood costume from The Killing Joke. What are the lore implications? So yeah, I'll go there, and it looks like this is gonna be a pretty short stream since I'm pretty much gonna be doing nothing else. After I am done with this, but that's kind of how I planned it out to start with, so... So this should go back up here too. Well, I mean, we could go the other way. We could go around, go through, but nah, this way is faster. Also, why do I get the feeling that, well, there's a couple of places that we need to go through with, a couple of doors that we need to open with the lure key that I think just lead to more teleporters like this, but... oh boy, gonna have to do the cycle again. Kinda looks like you move around the war points counterclockwise when you move around them like this with the warp. Do I want to go? Oh, it doesn't matter. I was gonna see, like, do I want to go back down here or just down here with, do I want to go down here in Castle A or in Castle B, but I don't think it matters since I'm gonna be doing both eventually, and it's not like a shortcut to going down there faster in one version or another. Let's go down here to Box Puzzle World that we technically don't even have to put up with anymore now that we can jump with. Something that I'm quite pleased about. Let's see now. So I just go... You might notice... you know that one gap on the map right there, right to the right of where I am right now. But you might also have noticed that there's no breakable walls here apparently, other than like stuff that you can get through like doing very plots. Just using relics that seem like they're mandated for the plot, but just for that reason you wouldn't think to do this. And end up in this room, go through the ceiling and end up in this room with the big mana prism, and another life max up, which at least is better than a fucking hard max up, but well, this was Castle A, so I guess the place that the thing that I want to get from there is not even in this version of the castle, but the other one. I'll go back to Castle B and go do that thing again. Let's take the express route back up to the warp room again and actually follow through a little better after this to get to another part of the treasury area that's beyond the skeleton cave, where there is one door to one room that we have not yet been able to open that we should be able to now that we have the keys to open, these types of doors. But for now, let's just go back to Castle B and, claim the prize from the other version of that room above the save room as well. Which at least it now shows that, the passageway is there. This is the one secret that a lot of the people who play this game miss, because there's no indication whatsoever that you can do that there, and you will find anything. Oh, hey, I see that. Seeing that Alex is posting in the Discord, hang on. Should probably address that a little bit. Let's get caught off guard with that X. So let's get this thing out of the way, because I think we need to just to be able to make the jump. And here we are. We got the Wizard's Urn and the Summoning Tome, which is the final spellbook, and as its name indicates, you can use this in conjunction with the sub-weapons to summon monsters instead of just doing random other stuff, I guess. And yeah, by the looks of it, the combination, what do you call it? Combination of the cross with that causes an apparently meteor storm to come out. It's a pretty interesting thing. I think I'm actually gonna look for the knife now, because okay, here we go, it's right here. And the knife summons a phoenix or a rock by the looks of things. And well, that's what happens. Pretty sure I don't know. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure the MP cost for that is lower than for the cross, but I don't even know. Pretty sure it was higher. Okay, no. Pretty sure the MP bar was higher along than I thought it was when I initiated that, so I'm probably misreading that. So now we have to go, since there's no warp or save rooms on the way. Jesus Christ, my diction. To go all the way around here and... oh Jesus, my neck. Sure do love it when I can't even get out a sentence because random pains keep interrupting me. Alright, well, basically what I'm trying to say is we have to go to the one other empty hole in the map that's above where that other save room was, to the left of the castle center there. I think there's going to be another, well, not a save room, but I think there's going to be another warp room at that location, which would actually be really good. So let me take a time out here to clarify what's going on. Alright, I wonder if he even stuck around to see the response, because I did see that he disappeared from the list. Right after I started typing. Let's just go ahead and keep going here. I want to revisit the Wailing Way, I don't know. Something I want to do, I think I want to do, I guess, just for the sake of being thorough, is check to see which of these I am missing, if any. No, apparently I have all of these now. I was not expecting to just find all of them on my own, but I guess I did. I have all the furniture now. Kinda want to see what, you know what, let me just do this, fuck it. I want to see what the summon is for the fist, but I don't want to lose the knife. So let me go ahead and do that. It's... well, that's pretty interesting. It's like... what's her face from Final Fantasy IV? Except that... obviously based on like a Hindu god Asura, I think. I don't know. think I recall trying to use that, fist summon combo at some point, and it didn't really work out for me that great. But hey, now that we have all of the furniture items, let's go down here and put down the rest of the furniture. And hey, our interior decoration project is now complete. Got this weird-ass room that's apparently really nice. There's all the furniture inside. If only we could take a picture. Well, I guess we pretty much do, because, this is all being recorded, but I don't know. I don't know if we need that crazy wizard urn there next to the base and the other base. Guess the table looks nice though. I don't know, this mannequin echo here looks a little bit gaudy, along with this Tanuki statue over on the left, but what do I know? I'm not an interior decorator, but just apparently is. So let's read some of the item descriptions for some of these things that I haven't looked at yet. Chandelier, said to have been used by royalty, has an interesting history. It's earthquake-proof. Radio prototype received directly from the great inventor himself. What? Alexander Graham Bell? Or Marconi? I don't even know who invented the radio, or if it's... I don't even think it's supposed to be a reference to any of those people, though, because, this takes place in the mid to early 1700s. So I'm pretty sure it's anachronistic. A lot of the stuff here is. Spear silver dinner set radiates elegance. Fascinating cedar tree. Relaxing chair offers up gentle creaks as it rocks. I don't know if I would like a chair like that, or a chair like a silent rocking chair. Made of the finest silks and milky to the touch is the silk curtain. Most valuable objects are those whose value is difficult to guess. I guess so. Staring at this urn turns to induce sneezing. I'm guessing that's a Japanese thing that I don't know about. Pretty vase brimming with artificial flowers. Okay, glad they cleared that up. With a sip of tea from this cup, you can join our clan. I get a feeling that's a reference to something, but I have no idea what. With the power to make teas taste better than they really are, somehow. Beautiful wine glass for elegant evenings with friends. Hero immortalized forever. Someday that will be me. What is this, like an editorial from Just, or a statue of a goddess? Goddesses are so beautiful, aren't they? I guess so. Statue of a smug-looking old man. Superb piece of art by an obviously skilled raccoon figurine craftsman, even though it's, a tanuki, so maybe not quite. And statue. This is an statue that helps bring in money. Effectiveness unknown. Machine that emits sound. Analog is great, isn't it? I guess so. I mean, I don't even know if I've ever even used analog for audio, but I mean, there's still record stores over in a lot of places that sell actual records, so. Silver candlestick, gold candlestick, silver trinket. Candlelight makes any cooking look edible. Candlelight makes your girlfriend like you more. Take a peek and you feel as if someone were there, apparently. Seems out of the castle drawing seems out of place in this castle. I'm not sure why, but... The king-size bed is manufactured by the only trusted and true name in beds, futon. I thought futon was a type of bed, not a manufacturer, but I don't know. Like, design-wise type of bed, but who knows. Ease your worries about having too many clothes to little space with the closet. I don't know, man. Apparently that does not apply to some people also. I think that this thing up here is supposed to be the strange mirror, and it doesn't really look like someone else is gazing. It looks like you're staring into a dark abyss. Vortex swirling, and I guess it's just a castle drawing. Maybe it's some concept art that he managed to cram into the castle, but yeah. So yeah, we got that out of the way. We completed the interior decorator side quest. As I said before, you don't actually get anything for completing it other than the satisfaction of having done so, I guess, but So there you go. They're immune to curses, so we don't even have to worry about the ectoplasm here. So where are we going? Up then left. And left again. Yeah, I gotta tell you though, even though this is like on the Game Boy Advance and all that, I guess. Like the input for doing the super jump is so much more responsive than it was in Symphony. Even though it's the same commands and everything. Same button combination. Might have tweaked that, I don't know. Well, let me check real quick down here. See if the merchant's here, because if there's anything else that I want to get from him, now's the time. It's pretty much the end game. Alright, here he is. We would have a castle map too. We don't need the shin guards anymore. Or any of this stuff, I don't think. This is kind of lower end, to be quite frank. I think we're gonna buy some more potions, so I guess. Would have liked to buy some high potions, but I guess this will have to do. Let's buy 12 to start with. Let's buy... Fuck it, let's buy 20 more. Don't think we'll need this many, but still. It's not like I'm gonna spend my money on anything else at this point, so might as well make good use of that. And we did get a lot of money from traveling through the Castle B version of the Wailing Way, so pretty good that we at least have a reason to put that towards something. And here we are. Okay, the lure key was used. I thought there was gonna be another skull place, like a place with the skull key. So yeah, I was right, this is another teleporter thing. There's just one more of these to unlock, I think, in the game. And we're gonna go do that now, I guess, because it's the one that's closest to where the final boss is located. So let's see, where will this take us? It'll take us there, so we do this another 2 times and end up here. In Castle A, I think. Judging by the looks of things. Yeah. And we head down there too. Well, a couple of places. The place that connects to the... Actually, where is that place? Is that the entrance? Actually, yeah, I think that is the entrance. Place that connects to the entrance, and then we go a little bit further down, so we can go to the place that has the final teleporter behind it. So I'm gonna try an experiment now, I guess. That's how I can summarize my intentions at this point. Okay, we head partially down to this room. Go this way, and now we can actually jump over this thing, because we have the super jump. And get the silver armor. It's not gonna be better than the Kaiser mail, though, is it? I get the feeling it's not. Nope. It's just as good as in the defense department, so... We'll open this door so we can use the skull key for something. That's what the skull key doors look like, I guess. Symbol looks a little bit like the one in the title screen, actually. Come to think of it. Don't know if that's supposed to represent anything specific. No, but there we are. So now all we do is to the right, down and to the right pretty much. this is Castle A. Actually, I think we're gonna be taking a first crack at the final boss here before we do anything. Because the final boss is in fact right around the corner here. Yep, this place seems to be... this passage down here used to be blocked because of the... I think the thing that unlocked it was the orb claw thing over at the throne room, or right above the throne room, that we unlocked with the crush boots. That allowed us to... You know, speaking of the crush boots, I'm still wearing them, aren't I? Yep, I'm still wearing them. So let me put on some better boots. Silver boots for the fence. I could also wear something else if I wanted, but I don't think I will. I think that's pretty much the best option I have right now. I see Alex for the thing. Now we're gonna wear the silver boots. Okay, we already saved, so... And then we got 1 damage from that guy. Alright. And I'm gonna switch the spellbook to the wind book, because the, knife and wind book combo is pretty much the reason why I wanted the knife coming into this place, which, if you remember, the final area of Symphony of the Night might look a little bit familiar. Like, almost to the point of egregiousness, pretty much. How much of that game they tried to replicate for this. So up we go. This looks different though. Here is Maxime and Lily. Are you alright? She's not saying anything. She's lost consciousness, but I think we've made it here in time. Oh, hey, Redbur. Good morning, I guess. Still managed to hold on to your true self by some means or another, but he's reached his limit. Gotta take his life, apparently. Can't hang on any longer. I can't fight the impulse. But we cannot take his life. Then he'll make him kill us. So here we go, time to go into this very Japanese confrontation with this very Japanese background. That's totally what I was gonna say, not just something weird that segued into something accidental. Okay. So let's just go ahead and use this now, because this is the reason I brought this power up into this fight, because I just wanted to do this over and over, because it makes this part of the fight trivial. Good old-fashioned blades item crash. That's been around since... it's been around since Rondo, but I don't think it became quite... it's never been quite as broken as it was as it became during the Metroidvania era. One thing I do like is that, at least in this game, it lets you turn around while you're in the middle of doing it. There we go. That was challenging. Thank you, for I did truly desire to be filled by your hand. I wanted to free you from your cursed fate. And take care of Lee, and then he just drops dead. And all of a sudden we're out here at the castle. Patiently waited until we were far enough away to do that. Until the sky becomes a gradient. It's actually kind of really noticeable here. Looks like you're coming too. Have we been saved? Yeah, but Maxime is fucking dead, so there's that. So clearly the best possible outcome. Hey, wait, let's go home. We'll figure it all out after we're done with that. Also, Alex says not to Discord while on the stream. I guess I should do that, but I don't know. I mean, I was researching stuff while on the stream, so... Hey, but you know, I tripped and fell on my turbo key. So yeah, that's the ending that you get if you beat the game under those very specific circumstances. But as you might imagine, that's not the only circumstances under which you can get an ending. Because, well, let's stop and look at where we stand right now. We're in Castle A. And watch his face, looked like he was doing pretty alright. Before we got there, Maxim looked like he was holding on to himself. He wasn't his evil, edgy version. That sometimes takes over when we meet him in Castle B, so guess where we're going now. So we go through this very roundabout route filled with the axe armors. Well, there was a door here that was locked, but now it's not anymore because we have the lure key. And we get another armor here, I forgot about that, the moon armor. Is that like the sun charm and the moon charm from Symphony where one of them like... Well, here's the sun armor, how surprising. One of them gives you stat boosts if you wear it during daytime, and the other one does the opposite. Armor affected by the sun, armor affected by the moon. Well, apparently it's gonna raise our... What does the system clock think it is? Because I think that's what it's based on. Might be based on something else. See, I don't even remember if... I don't even remember if the Game Boy Advance had a system clock. Like, part of me wants to say yes, but I don't even know. Like, it might be affected by which castle you're in. That might actually be it. I know that there's some mechanics and puzzles in the DS games that are affected by, you know, the DS clock, but... Huh. Okay, never mind. I thought we were gonna be able to... Okay, I think I see what the deal is here, so... There. So I was half right when I did that judgment earlier, so this thing here, this door, based on what I'm seeing here, I think I can determine that it opens up. If you're in Castle A, it opens up after you hit the claw thing, the claw orb thing, and that's near the throne room. But if you're in Castle B, then you actually do need to collect all of the Dracula relics before you'll be able to open that, so... See, I know that there's, you know, they're tied to the other endings that you can get the Dracula relics, but... You know, for that reason I was trying to figure out if you could access this without... I'm in Castle B now, yes, okay. Actually, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Gonna take the long way around so I can fill in that one little piece of the map that I failed to before. Because there is only one piece of only one of the Dracula relics that we have not yet collected, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly where it is. It's at the entrance in Castle A. So we're taking the long way around to get there. And you know, I could have gone get it as soon as I could have gone to get it as soon as I had some of the other stuff to reach that place, but... Well, it's a very specific location, like the super jump. That's what I needed to be able to get there, I think, but... I chose not to because I knew that, you know, the relics are tied to the ending that you get, so... kind of wanted to find out what happens if you do, like, a specific... go for a specific ending, but don't have the relics with you. Well, I guess that's not actually possible, because if you don't have the relics with you, then you can't actually... get through. Alright, so let's... speaking of getting through, let's just go through this really quick so we can get to the... back to Castle A, which is where the thing is. And fight the Pike Master again. Oh god. At least you can't see that coming, he does telegraph that move. Actually wasn't sure if I was going to or not. So we're under level 50, but pretty sure we're still technically higher level than we were during the end game of Circle of the Moon. So I'm fairly certain that we are, actually not entirely sure. Let me see. Yep, almost to the nearest gate thing. Don't think we're gonna fight the devils again because fighting takes too long. I don't think it's really that worth it. So there we go. Gonna go through to Castle A again, and might drop by the Wailing Way too, since I'm pretty sure there's some items there that I missed. Because I didn't have the super jump, and it's not like I'm pressed for time or anything. It'll be very quick either way, and this is I'm pretty much done with the game, that's the thing. All I gotta go do is get the last relic and then go beat the final boss again a couple of times. So as to show off all the endings, I think there's only 3 endings if you play as Just. Let me check that real quick, actually. Let's see here. There's the ending that I got. There's the 4th ending, what? What is the 4th ending? Oh, okay, never mind. I actually had no idea, so guess what, apparently the furniture collection quest does have a difference. Other than the satisfaction of having, does have an effect other than, it's just the satisfaction of having done so, I guess. Apparently there's a very minor visual difference in the ending if you collect all the furniture and place it in the room. And you manage to get the best ending, but beyond that there are only 3. There are only 3, but there are technically 4 if you consider the differences in the completed furniture side quest thing to be significant enough to technically be another one. I don't know if I'm going to. Well, I guess it's as much as, the ending of the good ending of Symphony of the Night, where you actually manage to beat the game in the inverted castle. Does have a very minor difference that happens, but it does have plot significance, I guess, if you care about the lore. It kind of sets up the, something that would be followed up later in the series. Here I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference. So. But anyway, let me just get through this real quick, because I think the final Dracula relic that we're missing, which should be the Ring of Vlad, is gonna be in this room somewhere. There it is. Vlad's ring. I think it raises luck, if I had to, had to guess. And with that we have all of the relics in the game, and all of the Dracula relics, more importantly. Oh hey, there's a hard max up there that I didn't get. How could I forget? It's my favorite kind of power-up, like I've said. It's totally not something that I think is just a superficial thing at this point, at this stage. So let's go down to the Wailing Way again. The Castle A version, because I'm pretty sure there's a couple of items that actually might have marked on the map before I gave up using the map. I think it might actually come in handy for once. H marked. Here we go. Alright, so there's just a couple of rooms I see that have marked places to, indicate items that I saw but couldn't actually get. So, which shall I get first? I guess I'll get the one on the left. There we go. I couldn't get up there, but now I can. I get the fancy clothes, which I get the feeling I had already gotten before. And I can get whatever's up here. It's a ring. It's the Logoth's ring. Whatever that is. And if I had to guess, it's probably like raises the effectiveness of some TSO weapon, the knife, but I think it's still pretty strong since I managed to beat the final boss with it. And now we go to the other room that I had marked, which is on the right. There we go, should be. I think it's this room at least. Maybe something up here that I failed to get, and hey, it's something that I actually do care about. It's the life max up. So with that, I don't know. For all I know, I've collected all of the health and stuff upgrades in the game. Without really meaning to even. So aren't you glad that I stopped by here one last time to get all the stuff that I couldn't get the first time? Let me see. So pretty much all I gotta do now is I'll go back. I just realized I could just, take the quick route down there by not backtracking like I thought I was going to, but apparently there's a shortcut if I just keep going right and then down. I never knew about that, probably because I couldn't even, probably because I never actually, took this route before. Because it probably needs a skull key to open a door. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yep. Skull key was used, which we actually have now, and we end up here, which is a lot closer to where we need to be. But now we do have to go back to Castle B, so let's go ahead and do that. Because there are two endings, or three endings that you can set up through different conditions. And, first of all is the ending that we already saw, which is, you go to Castle A and you fight Maxime there. And you manage to rescue Lydie in the end, but Maxime is fucking dead because he forced you to kill him pretty much. But that's not the only option you have. You can also go meet Maxime in Castle B, which will be markedly different. And this thing should be open now, and it is. There we go. Dracula's remains are glowing, and now the thing opens up. But as before we actually go down there, let's go ahead and save. Because it's never out of place to be prudent, is it? I think we're pretty much about to fill out the map completely to 198.8 right now. 189.2 right now. And 199.7. And once we actually step in here, we'll figure it out, but... Well, this place looks different now. She's still just breath, but damn, I am too late. Welcome to the party, sis. Totally not evil, Maxim, except he is. Oh, his spirit no longer lives within me, and I owe it all to that woman. Look at all the strength she's given me. Damn it, no mercy for you. I'm going to tell you this in a very stern fashion. Big threat from an unworthy opponent, and just like that. Thrown into the thing again, but now we do have 200% completion. Which means we have finished getting every part of the map, I'm pretty sure. And it's not like in Symphony where it's actually more like... Actual number you want to aim for is closer to 206, I think. But, you know, as you can see, as before, we actually do get the same sort of strategy to use against this guy. Which is pretty good at, you know, I think it's pretty good that we can just cheese him like this, because if we didn't have this, this would be actually a really tough fight every time, which is, you know, kind of the reason why I bought all of those potions in preparation for this. Actually, I don't remember how badly I was going to need them. Apparently the answer is not very, but there we go. And there we are. Maxim, forgive me, even though we're very aggressively sticking you with hundreds of knives. You think I will lose, I who wield the powers of Count Dracula. I believe that you could have taken all that he was, but if I die he will perish as well, and the woman too, somehow. It's not really clear what he did to her. Like maybe he drank her blood or something, but it's really very vague. That cursed strength of yours, you'd better hunt down Dracula eternally, even though that's pretty much what you've already been doing for like several centuries. And this is technically the worst ending because nobody survives except just... Ultimately, I couldn't save Lady or Maxim. All that remains to remember them by is this bracelet. Wink, wink. Couldn't even protect those I love. I failed as a vampire hunter. What on earth should I do with myself now? Well... So that's canon, clearly. And well, you know, I accidentally pressed this thing again, and skipped all the credits again. So now let's load back into the game one more time. It actually does save, because we have the full map completion now. But I don't think it would even be possible to get full map completion otherwise, because... You know, the only way you can fill out the castle center there is by actually initiating a final boss fight, so... So let's do the exact same thing again, because clearly, you know, that was the best ending we could have possibly gotten, so... So let's relive that. Let's go ahead and get right back into the fight. We can actually skip that with start. I was actually wasn't entirely sure if we could, but I guess I just confirmed it. Oh boy. It actually... Okay, he's got the copy going on, that's what's going on there. Oh my god, what? What? Okay. How did I do that? I just switched from the wind book to the other book. I had no idea you could even do that. Okay, do it with select. No, that's... How did I do that? I legitimately have no idea. Alrighty then, I guess we're gonna have to complete the fight like this, but before we do that... I don't know, maybe we have enough MP for one here. One more of these. Before we continue though, let's actually equip something we Actually, you wouldn't have thought to do otherwise, I'm sure. Let's equip... where are they? They should be somewhere around here. Here we go. They're actually at the top. Equip JB's bracelet and MK's bracelet. Before we actually conclude this fight. And then let us do just that, even though I actually need to use some potions now that I'm actually, not just cheesing it with invincibility mode. Yeah, I think I'm gonna chug a couple of potions. And get a whole bunch of health back as a result. There we go. But this time... Oh, that bracelet, you worked for me. What a surprise. Same as that you? Yeah, apparently it is. Why do you still live within me? I thought you were dead. You're stronger than this, he says. But compared to the training we had, this is nothing. Why can I not free myself of you? Why can I not free myself of myself, who is I within me? Because I choose not to free you, and looks like we're headed for the same outcome as in the other castle, but... I sense a strong magic at work. The remains, which fly out of our pockets like that. As long as I have this power, I have no need for this body. So... it just flies out of the body, I guess. And now we have this. This most unique form of Dracula that we pretty much don't see in any other continuity, the Dracula Wraith. Not stable, but your blood will once again make me whole. Take it if you can, do not underestimate the power of Belmont. Okay, let us begin then. I will enjoy destroying you. I am being very proper, as you see. So before we, actually finish this final boss fight, the other one was a fake out. I'm pretty sure japed you. And let me tell you though, this boss is actually really special for how its final form will be. It's a sight to behold, but first we have to deal with this more normal looking, kind of standard Dracula form. It's, it's a lot like the Dracula that you're used to. He shoots the firebolts, and I'm pretty sure he shoots the death meteors as well, so you just gotta jump and... much like the Dracula that we all know and love, he's actually immune to hits that don't hit him on the head, so... gotta jump every time. Just a good old vintage Castlevania Dracula fight, kind of, but... same out of suggested there, it will not stay that way for long. Oh god. It's not really that easy to dodge those death meteors when... you jump like you're in the moon every time unless you really gently tap the button. And let go of it immediately, just hit it really briefly like you're afraid of it. It's the only way to do a brief jump like this. Sure do wonder what he's saying when he launches the fireballs. I got Chikara or something Chikara, I think. Pretty sure Chikara means power, so... something power something. I know that at the end of Round of Blood he says, when he transforms into the second form, he says Orino Chikara or Ordini Chikara, I don't know which, but I think it means my power. So time for the second form, which is the best he's ever looked, I'm sure you agree. I sure do wonder why they didn't just make him look like this in Simon's Quest. So yeah, this is, much like we've been used to with the death fights for a couple of games now. I think you'll agree this is so much more difficult than the other fights. I'm sure you'll agree that this was clearly a fantastic design choice. Well, I mean, it kind of makes some sense because he's supposed to be using the remains as his his bodily vessel, I guess. Doesn't have a real vessel, but like I see the eyeball and the heart and the fang, I guess, and I guess the arm thing is supposed to be the nail. But what about the ring? Where's the ring? Oh, we killed him. Okay. Don't underestimate the power of my bloodline. And what's the other body part? Because there are 6. There's the eyeball, the heart, the nail, the ring, and the rib, I guess, is also somewhere in there, and the other one, which is the eye, the heart, the fang, the nail, the ring, and the rib. That's it. Which did I not account for? I don't even know anymore. So this is the power of Belmont, you know. I think the power of Dracula is a bit more impressive right now, but vile spawn of Maxim, you are not worthy of being my opponent. Well, it's really ambiguous as to whether this is supposed to be like the real Dracula or something, because like he takes Dracula's power and he was born from Dracula's power, kind of, but apparently he was also born of Maxim, so it's really weird sort of ambiguity. I will no faith from this world, but I find some pleasure in this with the cursed powers of yours. With the cursed powers of yours. That's a really awkward way to phrase that, but destiny calls you to hunt for all eternity. Even though that was already established, I guess this version of Dracula is not really in the loop. I was able to figure it out, though. So there we are. Okay, time for the real ending now, I guess. Where am I? Maxim's come back to us. Am I alive? I guess Redbird just saw the second form. Am I alive? That's a great question to ask in any situation. Just your own strength forced him out of you. Wasn't my strength, it was yours and Lily's. What about Lily? Did you save her even though she's literally right in front of me? She hasn't come to, but her bite marks faded when Dracula was vanquished. See, that's another thing. Apparently the evil spirit of Dracula, going to Maxim, apparently made him a vampire, kind of, but well, it's really unclear how vampires are even made. Like, at least Dracula tier vampires are made in this world, but it's something else that kind of gets addressed in the next game that we're going to be playing, but for now it's just like, what even? But the bite marks faded when Dracula was vanquished, so I guess it's like in the novel Dracula by Bram Stoker. She's regained some color, it's just a matter of time before she wakes up. So there's nothing more to say, let's just forget about all the weird stuff that just happened. Let's forget about that bizarre, you know, skull with a heart for a brain and all that. Looks as if Lydi's coming too. What am I doing here? I think that I was bitten by Maxim. Apparently not, though. There's nothing there, it was just a dream. You tell her the truth, you know. You had wounds and they disappeared magically, that's the truth. There you go. I'm sure you're exhausted, so let's talk after we get home. Nothing happened, isn't it best for a little bit of that? So we're just get a little argument here, then she has to do this. In true anime fashion. Just got together. Except not really, but let's talk about other things. So there's the really minor visual difference that happens if you get all the furniture before you do this, is that apparently she gets closer to Just and snuggles up against him like she's doing now. Apparently she doesn't do that in the ending that you get if you forget to collect all the furniture, or just don't do it. So we know clearly a detail of great plot importance, but yes, that was Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. Which, you know, all things considered, in all, and I say that in the sense of looking at this in every possible aspect, I think it's probably my least liked, let's put it that way, because I do like this, but probably my least liked of the Metroidvanias in general. at least of the Metroidvanias that I feel still qualify as Metroidvanias. You know, there's still a few games. There's a few games that come after. Well, one game in particular that I'm thinking that comes after this that could still be counted as a Metroidvania. That I think I like even less than this. But that's a different animal entirely. Also, I don't know if you saw, but I'm pretty sure Michiru Yamane was in the credits there, and she was touted as the composer of Symphony of the Night, as if that was a big, I guess as a draw, even though, you know, the music in this game, you heard it. I don't think the quality of it quite measures up to what you're used to from Castlevania, but, you know, for some reason the credits music that you hear here is definitely not chiptune quality like every other track in this game is, so don't know why they had to make every other track sound like that, but then this one sounds alright. That's a mystery, but yes, that was the game. And you unlock boss rush mode and sound mode. Actually, I kind of want to check something in sound mode, namely if, you know, if I can. Namely if... Okay, this is just... no, this is just the music, I guess. Doesn't even tell you the names of the songs, though. It just tells you where they play. Like, this song is called Successor of Fate. It's actually probably my favorite song from this game. And yet they don't even tell you what the title of it is. Lady L. Ranger. Pretty sure that's transliterated backwards. It's supposed to be Erlanger, but just put it out as L. Ranger for some reason. I guess they couldn't really manage to proof it. Theme of Merchants. Theme of Maxime Kishin. You know, the funny thing is I don't even know if they tell you Lidi's last name anywhere else other than here in the game. I think they do mention that Maxime's last name is Kishin in like the intro or something, but this is the only place where they tell you her last name. Also, Theme of Death. And I think there's at least one song in here that's a bit of a spoiler, actually. Extra stage music 1. The extra stage music is actually from the bonus mode that you unlock after whatchamacallit. You know, you beat the game, it's the boss rush mode. That's where you hear those songs. Also, you know, another little sting from this game that I like, that's... Where is it? This one. Little game over sting that you hear if you die. Which is actually a reworked version of the game over sting from the Game Boy games, The Adventure and Belmont's Revenge. Unfortunately, I don't think it came back for any other Castlevania game, because I think there are more, you know, more technically more popular Castlevania stings, game over stings out there, but, well, we can look at the boss rush mode. It's pretty much a obstacle course, where you fight a bunch of the bosses in succession. Let's get the cross, I guess. And depending on what difficulty you pick, you fight a different number and selection, I think. And I do want to give it a try, because there's actually a very special secret that you can find in this mode, if you are savvy. If these guys are supposed to have the same amount of health that he did at the beginning of the game, I think he should have been dead by now. Not quite sure what the deal is there, but... You know, you are rated by how quickly you do this, so... Well, I don't know, can you... Okay, you cannot actually go into the pause menu or pause or anything like that during this mode. So something to keep in mind, I guess. I think it does save your time, like there's a high score for how quickly you can go through this boss rush mode, but I don't think you get any rewards from doing so that you can take into the main game like you can do in the boss rush modes that you get in Castlevania after this one. Because there is a thing that would be initiated after this point, I guess. So let's see, we got the bat, we got the living armor, we got the skeleton knight here. The boss from Castlevania 3. Well, I guess he's gonna die a bit more steadily. Maybe. Alright, there we go. I guess I'm gonna complete this course. There's not really that many bosses to be found here. Oh, you can still get a rating even if you're not, even if you're on the ground. When you collect that thing. And here's the kind of doofy golem that... Oh, yes, a lot of reach for that, I forgot. Exactly how much reach that was gonna end up being. Right, I would like him to come over here so that I can, get cheap shots on the orb. Damn it. Get a rating for that. And here's a Minotaur. I think this guy is the last guy for the easy version of the boss rush mode. Oh, shit. Pretty sure he was supposed to be a stagger by this point. Pretty surprised he didn't. I'm kinda cornered, because if he doesn't stagger and, fall back, he's okay. He died. Yeah, these are the only bosses. We destroyed the old creatures in under 5 minutes at least. As it happens, there's a couple of secret variations you can unlock in the boss rush mode. Boss rush easy, we will not retry though. I forget how you unlock it though. But I know how you unlock the one that I really want to show, because... Well, let me see. Well, you see how the background right now is kind of like a pink hue. Here we go. So if we start it up again and... Oops, no. It's normal mode. I want this one. And we hold L and R while choosing the mode we can play as Maxim, who is actually pretty broken. And we'll pretty much destroy the bosses. But there is nothing compared to the other mode that we can do, which is my personal favorite. But first, let's see exactly how powerful Maxim is. Noticing that he has a very special sword of choice weapon. remember if you can like play through the game as maximum like the normal game. I think you should be able to. I mean, it would make a lot of sense since pretty much every Metroidvania has some alternative replay mode, and pretty much every one of these except Circle of the Moon pretty much has alternative mode being able to play as a different character. Just go ahead and rush the next boss, I'm sure it'll be fine. Can you get more cell weapons from these camels? I don't even know if you can. I'm guessing that's a no. So now let's just go ahead and go through this quickly. Certainly a lot quicker than, with the whip, I think. Even. I could try to use the, sub-weapon I have, which is a big ninja star thing. Shuriken. That's enormous. I don't really think it'll give me that much of an edge on these fights, though, since pretty much exactly the same, if not for... Wait, what? Okay, I can... Apparently I can't do like a weapon thing. I can just slide into the enemies while I'm crouching. But I don't actually slide into them unless I'm right next to them or hurt them or do anything, I guess. I'll try doing that with this guy. Clearly a good idea. No, maybe not. I think I might die here, actually. Even though Maxime is supposed to be the stronger character, I think my post-game just might be a little bit too OP to really feel the difference there. Alright, I need to... Let's see if we can do it now. Nope, never mind. Well, we got number 3 of all time, I guess. Oh, but it's the same scorecard as the other one, that's strange. Even though it's a different character, but now before we close this out, there is one last thing I want to do, which let me see if I wait around long enough. I think it resets back to the Konami logo. And if there we go. If you enter a very specific button combination, then this screen changes from magenta to blue, and if you select the boss rush mode, it'll do easy again. You get to see this. Clearly the best mode in existence. Well, the sub-weapon graphics are different, but yeah, you get to play as Simon Belmont. And you get to hear this song, which is the very interesting remix of Vampire Killer that they did for this game. I think it's called Vampire Killer 2002. And it's... okay, we can do a lot of damage, I guess. Even just with the whip. We have the committed jump and everything, we can't change directions once we jump. And we have the same sound effects and all that. And pretty much the only reason why you wouldn't, think people would find this, I guess, is that to actually unlock this mode, you have to input the Konami codes very, very quickly in the title screen. before the Konami logo disappears. Which, you know, is easier said than done. I'm actually surprised I managed to get it on the first try this time. So let's see if... Actually, I didn't even stop to look, but I think, like, even when he's going up the stairs, he has the same stair climbing animation from NES. And of course, he doesn't have any fancy moves like the slide or the dash. But he hits like a truck, so there's that. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't, you know, these are all the classic sub-weapons, so... Just a little bit disappointed that they didn't make them look like the NES sub-weapons when you were playing this mode, but... Still a pretty cool thing that, you know, they managed to... put something like this in the game. And yeah, there we go. When you're going up the stairs, you have the same stair climbing animation frames from the NES. Didn't even notice that before. It's a first for everything, I guess. He managed to stagger him before he even did the sword strike. See that sick dodge that I couldn't replicate after the fact, or after the fact. I think he might have found the kryptonite. Right. Hoping he can at least, you know, duck under the laser, the crotch laser that this guy has. So I'm guessing that's gonna come into play here. Well, we didn't really get to find out if he could actually duck under the extended version or not, because I'm pretty sure that Simon's sprite here doesn't, you know, duck quite as far as the other sprites do. It's not quite as dynamic, but you know, why should that be a problem? So yeah, I think we're gonna beat this mode with Simon too. And he gets knocked back in every hit, so that's a true NES Castlevania spirit. And just classic Vania in general spirit, I guess. The fucking walking animation. Notice how fucking stilted it looks compared to everything else in the game. But you know, that's part of it. It kind of helps make this a little bit comedic as well. Well, you know, at the very least I do like that they made this song for this mode, which is, as you may have noticed by now, not just a remix of Vampire Killer, but also blends in some of the Clockwork theme from Castlevania 3 and others. Yeah, we did it. Pretty sure we got the highest score too, because we do so much more damage with Simon. Okay, no, we didn't. Never mind. I guess it doesn't help that. Well, there's the upgraded damage, but there's also the fact that, you know, we can't dash up the stairs or anything. But we got second place, you know. It's just Belmont, then Simon, Belmont, then Maxime, who's supposed to be the OP character. So there we go. But yeah, that's it. That's fun, but I'm pretty sure is also, you know, accessible from this screen, even if you haven't figured out how to get to that mode. There we are. Vampire Killer 2002. It's one of the single best things about this game, if you ask me. But yeah, that's... You know, that little extra hidden thing pretty much brings my playthrough of Harmony of Dissonance to a close. And there's one more thing I want to check first. If you want to start a new game, which I guess I would, at this point I would have to like, fuck it, just delete that one. Delete one of these to do. Can you start a new game mode and play as Maxim if you wanted? I really don't know. Guess I'm trying to figure it out now. Apparently yes, alright. So if you type in Maxim as your name here, there we go, you can start the game as... I wasn't sure if you could because the game doesn't actually tell you this, but like all the other extra game modes you can actually... Well, you get a triple jump, I guess, to compensate for the fact that you don't have the... the super jump in this mode, and you can't get any upgrades or anything, I guess. And if you pause, it only does that. It doesn't actually, you know, can't equip anything, so I guess it's like Richter mode in Symphony of the Night, which would be quite a bit harder in the long run, so... You know, fun stuff. So yeah, I wasn't sure if that was the case. I guess I'll let this one play us out since, you know, beyond the remix. This is one of my favorite songs in the game. But yeah, Harmony of Dissonance, really odd duck, if you ask me, in the franchise. It's just a little bit too much to be like, whatchamacallit, like Symphony of the Night. But that does, you know, in spite of being on a platform that has a different, you know, hardware capacity for presentation and all that, but that does end up having an interesting effect, so... you know, certainly not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, I would not call it that. Just a little bit weird and a little bit off-putting how, you know, the influences start to come through even when it's not quite supported. But the end product is certainly good enough, and it's certainly unique enough. It's, you know, it raises some pretty odd questions with what happens to Maxim in the story and all that, but... You know, speaking of odd questions, I think there will be a lot of those when we get to the next game that I'm going to be streaming probably tomorrow, which is a Origins episode, I think. It's the one that I think it is, and one of the, well, pretty much the first 3D game in the franchise after Castlevania 64, which, you know, we saw how well that went. But thankfully it's a little bit better now, you know, at this point, but... You know, speaking of that, I think that will pretty much be my cue to head out for now. You know, I'm gonna be around still, but... that's it from me for today's streaming-wise. So I thank everybody for coming like always, and I will see you tomorrow, probably, for the next game in the marathon, which is gonna be Castlevania Lament of Innocence. And let the dulcet tones of, you know, Maxim going back and forth in the castle here play you out.